Your voices, your stories, in your community. You're watching 7 News Detroit.
I'm Whitney Burney with a special story on a rally for hope 10 years after the heartbreaking loss of Jamie Daniels. The son of Red Wings announcer Ken Daniels died at 23 years old from a lethal dose of synthetic opioids, a victim of a system that failed him. That led Jamie's parents, Ken and Lisa, to create a movement, the Jamie Daniels Foundation. It helps young people who suffer from substance abuse understand they don't need to face the challenge alone. The foundation is holding a fundraiser Saturday at Motor City Casino to roast Red Wings legend Chris Osgood. And Jamie's parents, Ken and Lisa, are here to tell us all about it. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So let's start by talking a little bit about the foundation. I understand you guys have been able to help quite a few people over the years. Tell us about this foundation.
Well, we started in 2018, and we focus on adolescents through young adults age 24, as Jamie passed away when he was 23. And it was very difficult for us to find help for him when he was struggling. So we focus on kids programming. We don't create the programming, but we do fund programming and partner with, we have partnerships around Michigan to help those kids.
Okay. I understand you guys are having the roast this weekend. Tell us about that. What can people expect there?
Well, I think they can expect to learn and laugh, really. Learn what our mission is, helping kids in elementary schools, coping program we have there, and 11 Michigan colleges that we fund. And they'll also learn who Chris Osgood is. A lot of people don't know Chris Osgood that well. I do. He's my broadcast partner when Mickey Redmond isn't doing games with me. But we joke that to roast Chris Osgood is a layup because it's so easy. But his friends will do that, and John Keating, whom he hosts a podcast with, will be the host, and John knows him really well too. So everybody loves Chris Osgood, and he's 3 Stanley Cups with the Red Wings, so it's great.
Who can we expect to see roasting Chris this weekend?
Well, Chris Draper, his good pal, will be roasting him, and Jim Ralph, who's a terrific impressionist, Darren Pang, former goalie, wee little fella, but a great guy, and Neil Little, who's a good buddy. I haven't heard Neil Little speak before, also a former goaltender of the Philadelphia Flyers organization back in the day, and people tell me, you're roasting Chris Osgood, you having Neil Little there? Everyone tells me that, all the guys who know Neil Little. So I can't wait to hear him. I haven't heard him yet, but it'll be a lot of fun, and great silent auction online now, and a great live auction.
Yeah, okay. It sounds like it's going to be a really fun event filled with laughter, of course, but of course there is a true mission behind it. Tell us a little bit about your son, Jamie, for people who didn't have the blessing of meeting him.
He was a wonderful kid. He had a heart of gold. He would do anything for anyone. It didn't matter. And he had an abundance of friends. He was just a loving, sweet, funny. Well, he thought he was funny.
Well, that's why we do the roast, because his laugh was infectious.
Yes. And he was, his sister's best friend. She says he was my worst enemy and my best friend, because he would torture her as a big brother.
That's right.
But they were, as tight as anything. And, it was Jamie, Arlen was the last person Jamie spoke to before we found out that he had died. So he's missed, but because of him, these are the things that we want to do, and we get to talk about him all the time. So
he's missed but still felt.
Correct.
Yeah. And I understand that Jamie actually passed due to a patient brokering scandal. Can you guys talk to us about that, what it is for people who aren't familiar?
Well, it's the bilking of the insurance industry, really, is what it is.
Right. It's all for insurance gain, and unbeknownst to us back in 2015, when Jamie went into treatment, he went down to Florida to an inpatient treatment center we were referred to. It was a reputable place. And he stayed there for a few weeks. And when it was time for him to transition to sober living, which is basically it's a step-down program, we were Kenny was told by his therapist, you know, you get what you pay for. When he took Jamie touring to these sober homes, but didn't elaborate on what that meant. You know, we thought it just meant the more you pay, the better the place, or how it looks. Unfortunately, what it meant was there are so many sober homes that are basically illegal. They want you in there. They provide drugs for you because you're worth more in active addiction than you are in recovery. And you know, Jamie was doing very well. When he left, he was basically 7 months into his recovery. He had moved to a couple of different sober homes. And unfortunately, after his death, we came to find out that he had been patient brokered. So he had befriended people in an outpatient treatment meeting, and they would convince him, you know, my house is covered by insurance, it's less out of pocket. And he took some of that financial responsibility on as well. And so he thought, great, you know, it won't cost my parents, and called Kenny and said, Dad, you know, I can move here and it's cheaper, it won't cost you as much. And unfortunately, the last house he went to, he was there for 12 days before he died.
Wow.
And he ingested, you know, that lethal dose. And rather than call 911 and give him Narcan, there was no Narcan, and they didn't call the police. They cleaned up everything in the house first and didn't call the police until about 30 to 45 minutes after Jamie had collapsed.
Wow, wow, what a tragic, tragic way to go. What are you guys hoping that people will take away from this event about substance abuse and, you know, the work that you guys are doing to help people right now?
Well, really, it's the shame, the stigma around addiction that can preclude recovery. So we say if you talk about it, we didn't know in 2015 and 16 what we know now. So we urge people to talk about it, and it's still hard. So it's the shame around that we try to get out there, tell the story. And if you want to use us as an example as what happened to Jamie Daniels, I know speaking to my nephew the other day, and his son in Toronto is going off to college, and they said, you don't know how many nights around the dinner table we've talked about Jamie. And that's good. And if other families are talking about what happened with us about Jamie, and it's a conversation, because if you're in the throes of addiction, you want to continue to use, do whatever you can because you don't want the pain of withdrawal. And addicts can lie like they're wonderful people, but they can lie. And the parents need to see the signs, whether their friends have changed, whether they're isolated in the room, whether their grades have changed, anything like that. Does the family need to talk about it? It's a tough discussion. Find a therapist you trust, find your family doctor, have that discussion. And that's what we hope people take away. They'll hear what they're doing right now, which is lots, and they'll hear what we didn't do that wasn't correct. So hopefully they learn from that.
Well, Ken and Lisa, thank you guys so much for being here and sharing Jamie's story. I'm sure just hearing it, you know, our viewers hearing it, it'll be helpful for someone. And hopefully you guys will have an amazing turnout this weekend at the roast. And remember, the Jamie Daniels Foundation will hold a celebrity host of Red Wings legend Chris Osgood. It will happen Saturday at the Motor City Casino in Detroit. You can find out much more about the event and the foundation's mission at jamiedanielsfoundation.org.